Dear students, welcome back to computer science class. In the last class we discussed the while loop programs. So today again we will discuss some more programs on while loop. So the first program is to check whether the number is perfect or not. So first we can concentrate on the what is perfect number. So after that we have to write the program. See here, perfect number means, for example, I can consider the 6. 6 is a perfect number. So how you can say that 6 is a perfect number means, so first I can find out the factors of 6. 1 is a factor and 2 is also a factor and 3 is also a factor. Including 1 we have to consider the factor. Okay, so once we can find out the factor, so just you can add the factors. Here 1 plus 2 plus 3, again you will get the result as 6. So then you can say that 6 is a perfect number. So here the number of input is only 1. Okay. So how to start the program? The first line is hash include iostream.h. Hash include iostream.h. So next you can write void main, next int of n for inputting. Next you can write sum is equal to 0. Cout, enter the n. Endl. So next you can write cin of n. Next while. I is less than n, and don't write I is less than or equal to n, because if you are find outing the factors of 6 means 6 is not included as a factor. So whatever the numbers less than 6 you can check. Okay, so that's why I can write I is less than n. Next, if, see here, 6 factors 1 2 3. The factors of 6 means completely this 6 is divisible by 1 and divisible by 2 and divisible by 3. It means that 6 mod 1 is equal to 0, 6 mod 2 is equal to 0, and in the same way 6 mod 3 is equal to 0. So like this we can divide the number and we will get the remainder value as a 0. Completely the number is divisible by 1 2 3, then only we say that so the factors. Okay, so inside the while loop we can check the if n mod of I is equal to 0. N mod I, here n value is 6, I value is 1, 6 mod 1, answer is 0. If it is 0 means s is equal to s plus I. N is equal to n mod I is equal to 0. It means that 6 mod 1 is equal to 0. 6 mod 1 is 0. 0 is equal to 0. The condition is true. Initially some value is 0. 0 plus 1, 1 is stored in s. So s become 1. Next, if you want to check the condition means the I value will be incremented. It becomes 2. That's why I can write I plus plus. Again the loop will continue. The present value of I is 2. 2 is less than 6. Again condition is true. 6 mod 2. Again condition is true. S value is 1 plus I value is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 is stored in S. Next I plus plus, I become 3. Again loop will continue. 3 is less than 6. Again condition is true. 6 mod 3. Again it is 0. Here S value is 3 plus 3 6. I plus I become 4 and S become 6. 4 is less than 6. Condition is false. Again condition is true. 6 mod 4, the answer is 2. 2 is equal to 0. False means this statement will not execute. It will skip this statement and I will be incremented. It means that I become 5. 5 is less than 6. Again condition is true. 6 mod 5, 1. Again condition become false. I become 6. 6 is less than 6. It is a false. So once the condition become false, so next we can write if n is equal to yes. Here n value is 6. What about the sum value? Again it is 6. If your entered value and after adding the factors, whatever you will get the result, that result should be same. If it is true, just you can print Cout perfect number. Else Cout not a perfect. So this is another example using the while loop. See here, first this n is for input purpose, sum is for calculation. All the calculation, whatever we have to add the numbers, that must be stored in one variable. So that's why I can take the initial value as a 0. So I can enter the n value, I can give the input. So while loop, how to write? I is less than n. Don't write I is less than or equal to n, because if you are find outing the factors of 6 means again you are not including the 6 as a factor. So whatever the numbers less than 6, only we have to include those numbers. So 1 is less than 6, again condition is true. So 6 mod 1 is 0. So you can 1 is added to sum. Again I will be incremented. This process will repeat up to 5. If the condition is true, then it will add the numbers. If the condition is false means directly it will increment. So after the I value become 6, 6 is less than 6, the condition become false. Finally it will check the condition. So this is for printing the message whether the given number is perfect or not. So this sum value and your entered value, if it is the same, if both the values are same means then the result is perfect number. Otherwise it is not a perfect number. Okay. Next. So next topic is do while statement. The syntax for do while statement is, first we can write do, next here we have to write the statements. So after that while condition or expression, and after writing the condition compulsory we have to put the semicolon. The difference between while and do while is, so while is a entry control loop or pre-tested loop, but here do while is exit control loop or post tested loop. So it means that in the while first we can check the condition, after that statements will be executed, but in the do while case first directly the statements will be executed compulsory, because without checking the condition so it will execute the statements. So once guarantee to execute the statements in do while. So after executing the statements it will check the condition. Suppose if the condition is true means again it will re-execute the statements. So this process will repeat up to the condition become false. So this is the do while. So whatever we have to solve the problems in while, so all the problems can be converted into the do while. Okay, so just I will write one or two examples and the remaining examples you can convert. Okay, the example is, so first I can write sum of digits using do while. Sum of digits. So it is a while, do while example. Okay, so after giving the input, so you can write do. See here, up to this much as it is, there is no change in that, declaring the variable and writing the cout statement and writing the cin statement. So after cin statement you have to write while. Instead of writing the while loop, just you can write do, because the syntax is like this. So within this you can write r is equal to n mod 10, n is equal to n divided by 10, sum is equal to sum plus of r. So after that, so while n is not equal to or greater than 0, and finally you have to print cout yes. So in the while you have to write like this. I will write here for the while. In the while example, so we have to write like this. Here, see here, while n is greater than 0, n is equal to n mod 10, and r is equal to n mod 10, and n is equal to n divided by 10, and s is equal to s plus of r. See here difference, though this is the while and this is the do while. So whatever the statements present inside the while loop, so these statements can be written in do. After closing the curly brace, we have to write the condition, and don't write while condition inside the curly brace. Inside the do, don't write the condition. Once the do will complete, you can write the while, and the remaining process as it is. But before executing these three statements, first it will check the n value. Suppose if I give the input value as a 0, means 0 is greater than 0, the condition become false. But here it will execute these three statements. After that it will become false. Okay, so that's why while is a entry controlled loop, or it is a pre-tested loop. Do while means it is a exit control loop or post-tested loop. And in the while, so we cannot put the semicolon for while, because at the beginning we have to write the condition. That's why you are not put the semicolon here. But here compulsory we can use the semicolon for terminating the while statement, because at the end we have to write the condition, means so after checking this condition, again it will re-execute. So this is the difference between while and do while. So almost all examples are same, only we have to change is whatever the statements written inside the bracket, so that can be placed here, do. Okay, another example I will convert. So reverse of a number. So reverse of a number means, you already know the logic of these programs. Reverse is equal to 0. Again splitting the number, r is equal to n mod 10. So next we have to reduce the n value, n divided by 10. So reverse is equal to reverse into 10 plus of r. See here. So reverse of a number means, so if I give the input value as a 123 means it will give the result as 321. So this is the another example for do while and do while. Okay, so I already said that in looping there are three types. First one is a while loop, second one is a do while loop. Okay, so whatever the examples you are doing in while, so all the examples can be converted into the do while. Only change is you have to write like this instead of writing the condition and statement. So here first you can write the statements, after that you can check the condition. That is the one change in do while. Okay, so last loop is for loop. Okay. The syntax for loop is for initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Statement. So this is the syntax for loop. See here initialization in the for loop, the first step is initialization. Initialization means assigning some value to the variable. For example, if you want to print the number from 1 to 100, if you are using while means manually, you can initialize I is equal to 1. But in the for loop, initialization means here we have to initialize the some value to the variable like I is equal to 1, like that. So depending upon the program, so we have to initialize the variables. So after initialization, you can put one semicolon. So after initialization, it will come to the condition. It will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute the statements. So after executing the statements, either the value will be incremented or the value will be decremented depending upon the program or depending upon the situation. If you want to print the number from 1 to 100, so after printing the I value, so you have to write I plus plus. So instead of writing here, so you have to write here, because the syntax of for loop says that, so the first step is initialization. You have to initialize the value to the variable. So after initialization, it will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute the statements. After executing, either the value will be incremented or decremented. So after incrementing, again it will check the condition. After incrementing, again initialization will not done. So once the initialization completes means after incrementing, so directly it will check the condition. Again statement, again increment, again condition. This process will repeat up to the condition become false. Once the condition become false, it will come out of the loop. See one example. Just I have to print the numbers. I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. See out. Simple. Initially I is equal to, you can take 1. I is equal to 1. 1 is less than 5. Condition is true. True means it will print 1. Next, I plus plus, I become 2. 2 is less than 5. Again true. It will print 2. Next, I plus plus, I become 3. Next, it will check condition. 3 is less than 5. This process will repeat up to 3, 4, 5. When the I value becomes 6, 6 is less than 5. The condition becomes false. So this is the example for loop. Okay. Again in for loop there are so many programs are there. So we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.